The circle, the trees, and the truth. Part 2. God's economy versus man's money. The scriptures they don't want you to see. Family, welcome back. This is part 2 of the circle, the trees, and the truth. God's economy versus man's money. And today I'm bringing the scriptures that rose up in my spirit after I listened to the teaching again this morning. Because when the message is true, the word brings its own witnesses. These scriptures are not random. They are not emotional. They are not decorative. They confirm the teaching. They strengthen the teaching. They complete the teaching. Let's walk. Proverbs 10:10. The wink of deception. Proverbs 10:10 speaks about the one who winks with the eye. The wink is not a joke. That wink is not humor. That wink is agreement with deception. It is a quiet signal of a system that knows it's lying and expects you to play along. Man's economy is built on that wink. Hidden agreements, silent manipulation, unspoken rules. A system that says, we know this is false, but keep participating. But God's economy has no wink, no deception, no hidden terms, no fine print. Just truth, land, seed, obedience, and provision. In Acts 17, verses 28 through 32, Paul is breaking that programming. Acts 17 shows Paul standing in front of people who were programmed by their system. They worshiped what they didn't understand. They trusted what they couldn't explain. They bowed to what they couldn't question. Paul said, in him we live and move and have our being. Not in the system, not in the idols, not in the economy of men. And when Paul spoke about resurrection, meaning restoration, meaning alignment, meaning life, the program minds laughed. Just like today. Speak truth, and the programmed laughed. Speak alignment, and the programmed mock. Speak responsibility, and the programmed scatter. But the remnant hears. And in Ecclesiasticus 5:15, we're told to Do not be ignorant. Ecclesiasticus 5:15 says, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great. That is a command that governs my life. That is a command that governs my teaching. That is a command that separates God's economy from man's money. Man's economy requires your ignorance. God's economy requires your understanding. Man's economy says, don't ask questions. God's economy says, seek wisdom. Man's economy says, trust the system. God's economy says, trust the truth. I refuse ignorance. I refuse programming. I refuse deception. And that is why I stand where I stand. Then in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13, we're told, do not be ignorant about those who sleep. This verse is not just about physical death. It is about understanding. Those who sleep are those who have lost wisdom, those who have lost discernment, those who have lost alignment. In God's economy, death is not just the body stopping. Death is the loss of understanding. That's why Baruch 3 says, Israel died when they left the way of wisdom. And that's why the remnant must stay awake, stay aware, stay aligned, stay in truth. In 2 Corinthians 2:11, we are told, do not be taken advantage of. This verse warns us not to be outsmarted, not to be unaware, not to be taken advantage of by systems that thrive on ignorance. Man's economy is built on traps, debt traps, fear traps, ignorance traps, identity traps. But God's economy is built on clarity, on land, on seed, on obedience, on truth. When you step into God's economy, you start being exploitable. You start being programmable. You start being dependent on the system. And that is why the system resists you. So in closing, family, these scriptures came because the teaching is aligned. Proverbs 10:10 exposes the deception. Acts 17 exposes the programming. Ecclesiasticus 5:15 commands awareness. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13 defines true death. 2 Corinthians 2:11 warns against being taken advantage of. This is God's economy. This is the circle. This is the trees. This is the truth. And if you walk in obedience, if you walk in understanding, if you walk in alignment, you will see what I have seen. Provision, sufficiency, freedom, and the quiet, steady care of the Father. I am Augustus, and this is the teaching.